Hello, friends. Welcome to Theater Arlington's Theater Thursday, May 13th. We're happy to see everybody. Always a pleasure to be with you. Please, as always, tell us hello in the comments so that we know that you're here. And please feel free as we start talking to ask questions and let us know any information that you want. And I'll be sure to ask our guests anything that you want to ask them. Well, not anything. I mean, we got some limits here, but most anything. So go ahead and put your questions in there. Hi, Cindy. Hello. And make sure you like and share this post because that really helps us get the word out to other people who are not connected to the Theater Arlington Facebook page. So please like and share because that is super helpful. We want as many people as possible to find out about what's happening here at Theater Arlington and today all throughout downtown. So hi, Kim. Good to see you. Hi, Kathy. All right, so I got the staff all here. Where's everybody else? Y'all check in. Tell us hello. Hello, Micah Green. Good to see you. Micah Green, who has been one of our guests before and one of our frequent performers on our stage. Always good to see him here. Well, I'm excited about today. Everybody knows that we've got paint parties coming up soon and we've got summer camp coming up. So I'm not even going to talk about those because I know you guys already know. And that if you want more information about those, that you can certainly go to theaterarlington.org and get that information. So I'm not going to talk about that today because we have two really great guests and we are going to be talking about all things downtown Arlington. And we're going to be talking about our second anniversary of our beautiful mural. We're excited to get to chat about all of that kind of stuff today. So first up, the queen, I like to call her the queen of downtown Arlington, but she is actually the president and the CEO of downtown Arlington. So if you need any information today about things that are happening down here, this is the lady to talk to, the wonderful Maggie Campbell. Good morning, Maggie. Good afternoon, I should say. Good
afternoon. Thank you so much for having us.
I'm so glad that you're here. So as I said, you are it as far as downtown Arlington. You know everything that's happening. But I think there are some folks who may not know really what downtown Arlington, formerly Downtown Arlington Management Company, is and does. So can you give us a brief explanation of what it is that you guys are in charge of and make happen?
Sure, I'm happy to. We are a nonprofit corporation, a 501c3, and our job is and our mission is to wake up every day and do what we can to contribute to the revitalization of downtown Arlington. To do that, we have two contracts with the city. One to provide economic development services and guidance to the city and UTA. And the second contract is to manage the business improvement district services. So we have a whole basket of services that we provide that benefit our downtown businesses and the property owners. So those services or areas of work are beautification, marketing and events, economic development, and security. And so when we focus in on supporting the arts and in particular the mural program, that's tied to our beautification efforts. So it all goes back to those services that we provide and trying to make downtown a better place.
Excellent. Well, I love the mural project, not just because we benefited from it, but certainly because there is mural art and beautiful art all over the walls of downtown Arlington now. And I just think it makes it more fun and more interesting, especially when some of the walls are old and falling down like ours was. That it gets a new life by having that mural on it. So tell us some of the other places that you guys have, aside from Theater Arlington, that you guys have created some murals for downtown.
Sure. Well, there are murals kind of around every corner now.
Yes.
The mural program started as an outright grant, and it continues that way today. We, through our services, our beautification efforts, we have two grant programs actually. One is a matching grant to property owners to fix up their storefronts and landscaping. And we regularly give those grants out. And there's been a lot of improvements all around downtown through that grant program. The mural grant program is when we identify or get approached by a property owner like you guys did and said, hey, we're interested in a mural, we will outright give a grant to a local artist to implement that mural. And then we work with the property owner and the artist to come up with kind of the spirit of what the artwork is. There hasn't been a comprehensive plan or a systematic approach to the murals. I mean, they just began happening a bit organically and as a way to support local artists and activate our urban district. But with the recent work that we've done in developing more of a strategic plan to move our cultural district forward and support the arts, we want to create more of a formal public art program and have some sort of standards and plan going forward for how it's all going to tie together.
Well, I love how it has happened so far. I think that it's really cool that it's kind of happened organically and that it's popped up all over downtown. But I'm glad that there's going to be a formalized plan as well so that more of it can happen and hopefully more businesses will find out that it is available and will choose to do that. I know for us that we really wanted it to happen and that we didn't have the money to do it. And so it was really nice that you guys provided that and that you provided us with a fantastic artist to make that happen. And so we are fortunate to have our mural artist with us today. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Luis Mendoza, and we can chat with him a little bit about our actual artwork. Hey, Luis.
Hello, how's it going?
Wonderful. Good to see you. Let me really quick show everybody our art so that folks will know what we're talking about in case you have not been downtown to Theater Arlington, which you should be. But if you haven't yet been, ta-da! There, let me get rid of that little Theater Thursday so we can see better. There we go. So that is what our mural looks like. And we love it. It is a really fun Theater Arlington star. There's Luis at the beginning, starting that project and getting some work done on it. There he is on a very tall ladder, making me really, that would have made me really scared and I wouldn't have liked it at all. Our grand opening day where we set up some places for folks to take some photos. And there's Luis resting with his dog after all that hard work getting that together. So Luis, tell us, how did you come up with that design? Maggie was, kind of mentioned that downtown Arlington and the artist and the business owner all get to kind of have input on that. So tell us how that worked for you.
Yeah, so a lot of this helped a lot. A lot of my design background helped a lot as far as catering to not just the theater audience, but to the city as well. I was, trying to tie in the drama mask and the city and just like a very high positive spirit per se. And so it just started with the drama masks, and then I needed to tie it more into the city. And so I thought the star would be a good idea, but it was just the whole starting of trying to conceptualize the drama masks with the star. That was the fun part per se. And so, yeah, it was just pretty much just trying to cater to the audience, not just people driving by, but the actual theater itself.
Right. And then would you say that that is a big challenge in trying to do art for other people? So that kind of the difference between commissioned art and then you just creating on your own is that you've got to take into consideration, I guess, what the people whose wall it is want, right? You can't just throw up something cool up there. You got to make sure that it's okay with all of the people involved.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, as an artist, I always like to cater towards people, it just really depends. Usually it works out just because I know usually after talking to the client what they like, what they're looking for, and I'm able to kind of throw something together where they've never seen before, and I know it's something that they're gonna like just because they've explained to me what they're looking for, and it's just something that I like to do. Is the art that I create, I want someone to be able to connect with it. And, I don't want it to be just about me, but more or less, the people around me, the culture around me.
Right. And I think I know this was your first mural that you did for us, but what is your normal type of art? What type of work do you usually do?
So as far as artwork, I usually work with acrylic or spray paint. And then uh, I just really like to change things up. I like to pour epoxy on my paintings and even put textures on top of them. And as far as art goes, I like to keep it pretty large scale. Um, but usually, when it comes to my concepts, it's even more in depth because it's just really digging deep into the concept. And since there's no limit to what the client might like, it's just all about what I like. It's a much longer process for sure.
Well, I got several folks that are commenting. Donovan says that the mural is beautiful. Kathy's saying that she loves the take on the theater, comedy, and tragedy masks. My mother says, "Luis, good job." So there's a seal of approval right there. You're in because my mom says it's good. So
Oh, that's everything. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor and a pleasure.
well, thank you for being here and chatting with us. We have loved having our mural. If people want to see more of your artwork, is there a place that they can go? Do you have a website or a place where folks can look you up right now?
Sure. So right now I don't have like an art website, but I have a design website. I have put a lot of my work on there,
Mhm.
and that kind of caters a lot towards people anyway. My stuff is definitely more very conceptual, very different stuff. But if you like to check out my website, it's luismendozadesign.com.
All right, that's pretty easy. Somebody put that in the chat box for me. LuisMendozADesign.com. All right.
That's right.
All right. And y'all go check that out. Thank you, Luis. Thank you for being here. And thank you for our wonderful art. And hopefully we'll talk to you again soon. We're coming up on our 2-year anniversary. So thank you very much. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
See you later. All right. So Maggie, we thank you. We got our LuisMendozADesign.com there in the chat box for anyone that wants to go and look at that. So tell me how things have been. I know it's been really strange for us this past year because of COVID. How has that affected the downtown area? And even more importantly, how are things bouncing back? Are things coming back? Are things better?
Lots of big questions there, but I'm
Yes.
happy to dive in. Um, and I do want to just wrap up the mural sharing with this information. There's a place on our website associated with our cultural district information where you can actually take a mural tour of all of the murals that we've done and learn about the artist. And we're moving toward getting some kind of credit out at the mural locations themselves with a QR code so that that information will be available at every mural and then we'll start to tie everything together.
Oh,
So we
great.
hope
I
to
like
get
that.
that installed at every mural location with the support of the artists. And the only other thing I wanted to mention is that we work really hard to identify local muralists and muralists that are qualified from the region. Um, and we have identified a half a dozen muralists. They all have a little bit different style. So if an owner approaches us, we can give them choices, and then they start that dance and that conversation with the artist. And there really is a whole lot of creativity in that whole process, besides the execution of the actual mural. So we just love it that the property owners and the businesses have embraced it some people now have 2 or 3 murals on their buildings. So
Yes, yes. Yeah, we have a second one on the other side of our building as well that the Kaboo Art organization did. And it really, having those on our building really just changed the look of the building. It gave it some new life, and we're really pleased about that, and really pleased that in our remodel and our design that we're going to be able to keep both of those murals intact. So I'm very happy about that.
oh, please, I would not want to hear anything different. One
Yeah.
of my favorite things is because I drive past the theater coming to and from work every day. One of my favorite things is when I turn a corner and people are, just staging selfies, and
Yes.
your back mural, the beautiful, colorful mural on the back of the wall of the theater. I have seen that used for commercial professional shoots and model shoots. Would turn a corner and there's vintage cars there with a bunch of beautiful
Yes.
people all the time.
All the time. I know.
So,
The only thing I wish is that they would tag us when they're taking the photos, because so we see their work. But I would say yes, many times a week there is somebody out there taking photos of them because they're really great. Yeah, Donovan says one of her headshots is in front of the mural.
love that. Love that. Well, so to your bigger question about how are things going and what's been happening, this has been a tough year. We were very worried about all of our small businesses and, of course, our restaurants and bars when they were allowed to open and remain open, even at limited capacity. They did. They still are, many of them we hear struggling to get their employees to come back to work. So there's still daily challenges in trying to figure out how to operate. But we're very excited to report that where we are today, 98% of our restaurants stayed in business through the pandemic.
That's
So
fantastic.
that's a really good benchmark, and we're really hopeful that everybody can pull through this in the end. Businesses are reopening, people are coming back. Folks come downtown on a pretty regular basis. We've been promoting downtown as an outdoor experience.
Yes.
So, from Takeout Tuesdays to promoting the activities at the Levitt, um, encouraging walkability, that has kept our foot traffic up. But I think there's a real spirit of hope and optimism now as we're seeing um, the pandemic numbers being more manageable and many people are getting vaccinated. So looking forward, gosh, there's just been so much going on, even in just the last week. It's hard to like imagine where we were 8 months ago, but
Yeah.
just in the last couple of days, the Levitt Pavilion concerts have reopened. We had 3 days of concerts this past weekend. We had the West Main Street Arts Festival with about hundreds of people downtown and
Yes.
loving that activation. Tonight at Legal Draft, they'll have their monthly urban market, and they've been doing that once a month consistently all year, and now they've grown to almost 50 vendors.
Oh
And
wow.
so that was going on tonight. So there's definitely a bouncing back. And then in terms of development or investment activity, I know of 3 to 4 developers that are working on mixed use projects that
Yes.
would involve housing and office and commercial. And I'm working with 3 or 4 business tenants that would activate ground floor space and bring needed new business activity to downtown in different categories. Um, there's a small market, I think, that has signed a lease at the 101 Center, natural, organic kind of grocery. And even though it's small, that is a needed use that we're excited about.
Excellent.
And then we are working on plans for this fall, and we're not ready to kind of roll it out yet because we're still figuring it out. But we've been working on a signature new festival or event for downtown. So we hope to be able to announce that in the next couple months. And then we're doing our annual meeting this year on July 1st. We're doing it as a breakfast at the Stanford House. And that's when we gather all of our downtown supporters and
Yes.
get excited about what's been done, and we share what the vision is going forward. We also have our annual awards, including the Dream Builder Award, our biggest recognition. So I hope everybody will put that date on their calendar, July 1st. The theme for the annual meeting is Dream Big Downtown.
Nice.
Yeah, this city, is this can-do city, that's their theme. And
That's right.
we get a lot of big things done, especially in the last 10 years. And I just don't see that this pandemic has slowed that down too much. I think there's been a lot of caution and a lot of pausing. But I think as the economy reopens, we're going to see the indicators coming back. And then from the perspective of the arts, as you know, Steve, we're in the middle of working with a consultant to do an analysis, a research project on the economic impact of the arts.
Right.
And your firm is one of those, or your nonprofit theater company is one of those. The data will be analyzed and will be part of that report out. So we hope to have that back in another month or so.
Excellent. Yeah, and that started. You guys started with a feasibility study, a shared arts feasibility study, which then moved into this economic study. And yes, it's very exciting, all the things that could be happening down here when we get that information back about some shared spaces, about how to boost the attendance and economy and the buildings of all of the spaces that are already here. We really do have a great cultural arts district and partners already, but the fact that it's going to be they will have some scientific data to go with that is exciting and good. That can really help us on that. So I have a question. Someone, Maggie, they would like to know what Maggie loves most about Theater Arlington.
What I love most about Theater Arlington is that it reminds me of my kids because they grew up in a community theater, not here, in another city. And just the camaraderie and the support and the community that's created in a community theater. I was that mom when my kids were little.
Right.
So it brings back a lot of fond memories.
Yeah, that's part of my, I mean, I love doing our shows and that interaction with the audience, but I also love our education program so much. It's one of my favorite things is having the kids in the building, learning the craft, and that interaction when they do their performances and seeing the parents and how excited they are to watch their kiddos. So that's fun. Cindy says she loves that, Maggie.
Well, I mean, as a theater mom, when my kids were little, the one thing that I know today, it taught them how to manage their time. It taught them how to balance school and outside activity, but it also taught them to do things that young kids are learning to do that you don't really get an experience to learn to do, whether it's building sets or dialing for dollars or, whatever the job is, you learn how to pitch in and be part of a team.
Yeah, as a theater teacher for the majority of my life, and then doing the education things here, that's what I always think is, it's like we know that we are not trying to produce a bunch of actors and actresses for the most part in our classes. That's not really our goal. I don't think that's the parents' goal most of the time or the kids, but the self-confidence that the kids can learn, and then those skills that help them through any job, which is, as you say, time management, critical thinking skills, all of those skills that are not taught in other ways. The teamwork aspect, the collaboration aspects really help people no matter what profession they go into. And so that's why I think our classes are so important. Tyler says that they are nurturing, which they are. We nurture their little hearts and souls as well, not just their talent and their creativity. Kathy O'Neill says she had no idea that you were a theater mom. And speaking of which, tell us something else that maybe nobody knows about Maggie Campbell.
Oh, well, Kathy didn't know that I was a musician, and she learned that earlier this year.
That you were what?
A musician.
Oh, are you?
I kind of play a little bit of guitar and a little bit of banjo.
How
And
fun is that?
yeah, but I'm going to keep my day job
Okay.
because I've never ever been fully dedicated enough, to really excel at it. So I get by.
Yeah, but I think at our next cultural arts meeting, I'm going to need a little banjo
Really, I could,
solo.
I could probably do that.
That'd be great. That'd be great fun. So, well, that is fun. Anything else that we should know about downtown Arlington before we wrap up here?
Well, I do encourage people to go to our website and sign up for our weekly newsletter. We launched our new website about maybe 2 weeks before the lockdown last February.
Yes.
And that website has been our best asset through this pandemic. We were able to develop a delivery platform. We were able to communicate with all of our businesses, the most the most updates from the city and the county on news and COVID protocols and the like. And the website now has become our key communications tool. So I encourage people to sign up for the weekly newsletter because our events calendar from our website gets fed into that. So if you're looking for
Well,
something to do, you want to know what's going on, that newsletter is really invaluable.
that's what I like about it is there's usually a top 10 or a top 5 things that are happening in downtown for the week. And so it is a really good place to go especially if you don't have plans or you're not sure what you want to do. It'll let you know what's going on. And it also, I think, has, some feature information about the different businesses downtown occasionally. So really, I find it very helpful. I'm glad that, of course, I'm on there looking to make sure that there's all good stuff about Theater Arlington on there, but I like finding out about all the other businesses as well, and the restaurants and the specials that everybody's running and all that kind of stuff. So it is a really great website, and really the newsletter is great information. So thank you all for making that happen, because it really is helpful for all of us.
Absolutely. And then there is another initiative, a big initiative that we're very excited about and supportive of, and that is the new Center for Entrepreneurship and Economic Innovation that UTA is working to establish. They're actually going to open a physical location for that at the corner of Center and UTA Boulevard, in the ground level of the parking garage across from First Baptist.
Oh, great.
So sort of the corner where the university property meets the downtown. We're going to have this front door accessible place to support entrepreneurship and make that part of our downtown experience, make this an ecosystem that attracts and retains creativity and entrepreneurship, and quite frankly works to keep all the smart creative people at UTA here.
Yes.
So we're excited about that. And then we're also excited about and following the setup and implementation of the city's new Economic Development Corporation, which the voters voted to create this last fall with the approval of a 1/4-cent sales tax. That is going to give our city the ability to be much more creative and supportive of attracting and recruiting small business and jobs. It gives us more tools in the toolbox, if you will. Not us, but it gives our city. So, and we're partners with them, and it's a big part of our mission to try to drive more value into this downtown that's sandwiched between UTA, our big economic driver, and the entertainment district, our other economic driver. So, and downtown is where the locals go. This is where you get the sense of what the community is all about when you're downtown, whether you're at Theater Arlington or the Levitt or up at Urban Union. It's definitely changed and continues to change.
Yeah, it is. It is exciting. I mean, because I see on a regular, almost daily basis, the changes that are happening down here in downtown, and it looks fantastic. We are very fortunate, I think, to be sandwiched between the two big things that we are, which is the entertainment district there and UTA, because both of them bring in different aspects that are nice. I love that UTA is my alma mater, so of course I like being next to them and all of the benefits that they can bring to us. We've got exciting plans working with them in the next year coming up as well. So it is exciting, all the things that are happening there and all the partnerships that UTA is having with the Cultural Arts District, with us, with downtown Arlington is really nice. So someone asked for the website, but Kathy O'Neill's got it up there for you, downtownarlington.org.
Great. And we're excited about your renovations. I'd love to hear about that in a little more detail or get some idea behind the scenes of what all you guys are doing, but just appreciate your continued reinvestment and belief in downtown as well.
Oh yeah, we love it here. We wouldn't be anywhere else. And we are super excited about our renovations. And we'll have more on those very soon. We're working on getting all of our renderings together that we can start sharing with folks so that people have an idea of what's going to be happening. So, well, thank you. Thank you for all that you do. Aaron Reich says thank you for your support. And I certainly thank you for all of the support of downtown Arlington to Theater Arlington and to the city as a whole. It really does make a difference in promoting all of the organizations and supporting them and generating new ones, which makes it really exciting to be in this area. So thank you for all of that work, and be sure and pass on our thanks to your board and to all of your wonderful employees. They're a great group of folks over there in your office. So, and thanks for being here and chatting with us today. We appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. Thank you. And looking forward to what the next production is going to be now that we're all getting back to business.
That's right. As soon as the renovation is over, we are going to have a really exciting season, and we'll start talking about that soon as well, coming up in January for our 49th season in 2022.
So then that means next year is a big year.
That's right. 2023 is going to be our 50th anniversary, and it's going to be amazing.
That's going to be a party.
That's right. It's going to be a party. That's right. That's right. All right. Well, thank you. Have a good afternoon, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Steve.
Bye-bye. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. Be sure and come back next week, because speaking of art, we are going to have the president of the board of the Arlington Art Museum, Chris Hightower. So we're going to have lots of fun next week talking about art as well, and the things that are going on with the Art Museum, who are one of our neighbors right down the street on Main Street. Thanks, you guys, for being here. We always appreciate your watching. We always appreciate getting to share information with you. And we appreciate all of your support. And we hope to see you soon at the theater.